back again.
Yeah, on the attack again.
Got gems on the rack again.
Like Brooke clapping in.
Oh shit. I see people tapping in.
What's up, Terica? Hey, what's up? Peace,
Peace,
y'all.
sis.
Yeah. Got y'all in here. Yeah. That's right. We on the live back again.
Back again.
Yeah, yeah. With
Hey.
family and friends.
With family friends. Hey. We don't follow no rules.
Yeah, because we shit.
Go ahead.
Because we set the trend. Yeah.
Plenty of knowledge and it's here to lend.
Mm, mm, mm.
Ain't taking L's because we here to win.
Yep.
I know you know I had the dope flow on top of the head and I ain't got a pencil.
A pen though. But still, we flow. Whether in the studio, doing it at home as we know.
Hey,
Yeah.
got the dope flow. Like loco, like lava, cause I flow. I'm Shaka, Baraka, I'm all of that shit. Cause I'm that beat.
Oh man.
We just wanna make y'all laugh.
Yeah. Y'all know it's so much going on, man. We can't be so heavy-hearted, cause
Yeah.
that tension and this tense and this chaotic shit. Yeah. Glad y'all loving it. Glad y'all loving it. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
As serious as we gotta be right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We still gotta be able to laugh, man. We know that laughter is good for the soul, so you know it is.
Hey,
what it
Marvin
is.
Gaye said in this song that music makes the soul of a man. That just hit me.
Yep.
Like right before we came on, I kept hearing just like music. And I was like, we need to play that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started really listening to the lyrics, and Marv was like, music makes the soul of a man. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why pumping out the music's so important, because it's like recreating these tolputs, it's recreating these servitors, these magical entities. It's recreating the soul of a man. That shit deep.
Yes.
We probably gonna get hit with copyright though.
That's always. Thank y'all.
Every
Thank
other
you, Sean.
channel use
Yeah,
music and they don't bother them.
No.
We'll talk about that, because we're gonna have to just get somewhere where we can be free to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
But for now, thank you for joining in with us.
Oh yeah. So, fam, hope all has been well with y'all, and we are yet back again. This is Remnants Gathering. If you are new to the channel, welcome. You're gonna get a lot of love. You're gonna get a lot of truth, and enlightenment. Yes, indeed, facts. Oh yeah, well, definitely get back in the studio. Definitely get in the studio.
Y'all saw my natal reading. I knew that I could have been famous. Like I could have been all the way up there, and it didn't. I'm glad I'm here though, because this is where I want to be among y'all.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I want to be. So, but musically, I already know what we capable of. It's just like
peace and blessings.
We just been kind of working our way to doing what we can do. But yeah, it's epic. It's an epic saga. But the spiritual work is so important. So it's like working on music is something that we just really enjoy. It's a part of our makeup. Like we'll be so taken away by that. We won't be doing this stuff. So we're having to pick and choose. I don't know who had time to do both.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah, either you're gonna be full time at doing whatever you're doing. Well, thank you, Lakita. She said we looking beautiful this evening.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you looking beautiful. Yeah, she
thank
is.
you.
She is.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bronze Yogi,
Got a
peace.
mask on,
And what's
okay.
up?
Ooh,
Yeah.
this flame is dancing.
Yeah.
So you want to do the libation?
Yeah. So, y'all, right now, what we want to do, we want to just definitely give big shots and ashes to all our ancestors. Um, and
Absolutely.
and the energies and orishas that we work with, and that we know without a doubt rocking with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the lineage of family members, those that have transitioned, and man, that were warriors. Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
want to give our shades to them. So, um, y'all just ashe with me. Uh, ashe to Isis.
Ashe.
Ashe to Lilith.
Ashe.
Ashe to Anubis.
Ashe.
Ashe to Hathor.
Ashe.
Ashe to Yemiya.
Ashe.
Ashe to Oshun.
Ashe.
Ashe to Ogun.
Ashe.
Ashe to Oya.
Ashe.
Ashe to Kali.
Ashe.
Ashe to Sekhmet.
Ashe.
Ashe to Mayat.
Just a little. Ashe.
And Ashe to all other ancestors, both known and unknown.
Yes, yes, yes. Ashe.
I can't help it because it's a mason jar.
Yeah.
The way it pulled out.
You still could have posed. Look. You just the maximum. I'm maximum man. Ernest is a maximalist, y'all, and I'm a minimalist. And it's so funny with us being together because we balance each other out. So let me see. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Yes. Because, while he doing that, it's so important, y'all. It's so important right now for us to remember why we are here, to remember who we are. Even for those of us who don't know why we're here, it's really, really important that you remember why you're here. It is so important that you press yourself in. It is so important that you do your spiritual work. It is so important that you talk to your ancestors, you pour your libations. I know some people in the community like, yeah, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't need to do that. I don't have an ancestor altar. I don't do candle magic. I graduated. And that's great. That's really, really good for them. But what about the people who are still working and figuring out your path? Figuring out, am I right hand? Am I left hand? Am I middle path? Like where is it? Because once you awaken, it's a whole other world.
Facts.
You can go any way that you want to go. So being a god and a goddess is about that accountability, using that free will and making that choice. The thing about it is, because when I do readings through the week, I see common themes. And the most common theme that I saw for this week, because we were going to get into like some world events, and we can talk about it, because I know a lot of times y'all are kind of wanting the heavyweight jam with us, so to speak, as to what's going on. We can talk about it. But I want to talk about the undercurrents energetically of that. Okay? So, what happens is when we as a collective start experiencing upgrades, light codes, just feeling some kind of way, it stirs up the powers that be. And so they have to roll out some other false flag or agenda or situation so that their Marxist type plans can be carried out. So it's been shown to me that there are people who have psychic gifts just like we do, and they have trained them since they were children, and they keep them locked up, and they literally just sap their energies, a lot like Dark Crystal in the show Dark Crystal, and how they would go to this crystal and they would wait till these eclipses would come. You want to plug it up to mine? Oh, it is. Was it on? Not on? Yeah. We might stop and pick up, but let's see. But okay. So on Dark Crystal, they would wait till these particular planetary alignments happen, and then they would end up doing rituals to draw the energy from the crystal on dark crystal. Now, it's funny that it's called dark crystal, but the crystal looks like an amethyst. So you have to wonder, what is that really about? So what's happening is we're seeing a power struggle between all of these different powers that have been in control. And they're fighting to be on top. So now that Hollywood is, their rituals have been broken up and stopped, like we're not going to the movie theaters. They're only feeding off of what they're getting when we watch TV, and a lot of us don't watch much of that, and when we do, we're watching it to decode. So it's like defeating the purpose now. They're having to come up with something else because we're breaking the spells that's been cast over us. So when I first heard about the killing of Floyd, I was like, I feel terrible. I'm going to go take it to the ancestors. And I don't know if he even believed in that, but call on his ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. And then after that, I started noticing they was breaking in places and businesses, busting windows on police cars. I said, these some damn paid people who probably was doing time. And they was like, look, you in here doing time, we'll cut your time in half. But what I gotta do was just go release 500 of y'all across the country. We're gonna bust you, drop you off in the city, and you just go out and tear shit up. This is what I've been shown. So I'm like, okay, you know, what's the purpose? What are they gonna get from this? It's the end game. This is the end game. So Earth had two main potentials of what the end game would be. So what has happened, they've done the Mandela effect. They've used CERN. Remember all the rituals they did with CERN? They got the Shakti image in front of CERN. Remember the God particle that they found? Remember all of the images of the God, these primordial energies that was showing up in the CERN pictures that they were taking as they were clashing these photons and these atoms together at the speed of light. This was ritual. This was, they were trying to alter the timeline and put us on the timeline where the people who have reigned supreme, so to speak, in the age of Pisces can stay on top in the age of Aquarius. They can't. So the challenge for you and me, for those of us who like, okay, if you left-hand path, you kind of like, well, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I just need to work on me. I get that, because working on you helps everybody.
Oh, yes.
If you still right-hand a little bit, and you kind of just want to be all about light work and helping people and helping the collective raise up, then this works for everybody. The goal is to go within. So this is the challenge. The age of Aquarius is about knowing. See, church is starting to lose people as the age of Pisces was coming to an end and stopped because people were in a place of, well, believing ain't working for me no more. I need to know something gonna work. I need to know why this is like this. Who is this God? Who is Elohim? That's plural. So there's more than one creator. So that means there's more than one creation on this earth. And for a lot of us, that just sent us on a journey of trying to figure out.
Right. Well, you know, one of the things is now with this whole reset leading up to it, and definitely coming into 2020, people are beginning to ask more questions. You know what I'm saying? Where like it used to be a time where you didn't ask no questions. You know what I'm saying? What you was told, basically you ran with it. And that was that on that. There were no room for asking questions. You know what I'm saying? And I think now people are beginning to be more inquisitive and want to know what's behind this. Okay, this is what y'all put in my Facebook, what's behind it, and then what's behind that too. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
And it keep going. And so, you know, I think we're just getting to the point to where more people are being, you know, a little more hungry.
Yeah.
For answers. You know what I'm saying?
So, you got the hunger, you got the desire. Now the goal is to get in alignment. Get in alignment with source energy. How do you do that? How do you know you're not in alignment? When you're not in alignment, you can't manifest, you can't visualize, you can't meditate, you don't feel right, you easily irritated, you easily angered, you easily triggered, you can't be positive, you can't even see shit no other way but one way, which is a negative way. All these things are signs you're not in alignment with the creative force energy that is the reason you are here. So, the goal, this is what happened to us. Our DNA operating system was on a system of operating according to a specific program. So a lot of stuff was autonomous. There was a time where I didn't have to think about what I ate. I ate whatever I wanted and there were no repercussions. There was a time where I didn't have to think about how physically active I am being, or am I being too sedentary. There was a time where that didn't even matter. There was a time where I was just cool praying, reading the Bible, going to church. 3 things, that was it. If I could pay tithes, I paid tithes. If I could give an offering, it was like really simple. 5 things, that was it. Try to be obedient, repent when I sin. That's about 7 things. That was our whole life. Now, you are aware of every program that shows up that you're running on, and you know it's not in alignment. You know it's not in alignment with your I divinity. Now all of a sudden, what you thought was self has done this, and now it's doing this. And it's like seeing double visions. So you feel like you're 2 people most of the day. Probably more than that. All of a sudden now, the thoughts that you have in your mind aren't thoughts anymore. It's different aspects of you talking to you, demons talking to you, angels talking to you, things that were said to you by your parents, you're hearing it on the record. Now, you got to be intentional and deliberate about how you live your life. You have to be intentional and deliberate about what you eat, about what you drink, about what you read, about what you're thinking about.
What you listen to, just everything.
And it can be overwhelming because what happened was it's like driving automatic vehicles, and then all of a sudden you get a stick, and you don't know how to drive a stick. So this is what's happening with the body.
You're responsible for every aspect.
Yep. So now that the body has shifted into having to be not run on the program anymore, it's like Neo. All of a sudden, Neo had to learn all of this new stuff to deal with the matrix that he was in. You know? And so basically what happens is you get overwhelmed. You get tired of taking an inventory of how you feel. You get tired of having to pay attention to what you say, how you say it, what you're thinking about. All of that. This is important because God is within. So to know God is to know self. So that is the challenge right now. Do what he's saying. Do what he's saying. He said, come in there with him. Or we're going to just leave and do it. We'll leave and do it. It's fine. We're going to leave and do it.
No.
We're going to stop doing videos here because she is not listening to us. Okay, go with your brother. Go find you something to snack on or something. So what's happening is now you're aware. It feels like you have become aware of how messed up you are.
Oh, yes.
But it's deeper than that. It's not how messed up you are. It's the programs and you realizing the viruses. Those viruses aren't you. The stuff that we think about, the patterns and habits that's not serving us, they're not us. That's the program. That's the virus that was put in our operating system. So doing things like help my nervous system to be rewired, that's helpful. You know, help me to not, when I see the images of an innocent black man being killed yet again, help my nervous system to be able to handle that, to see that, but still see the divinity in the situation, to see what's deeper, to see beyond what Maya the illusion is showing me. Thank you for the donation.
Thank you, Sean.
Ashe.
Yeah. Bless you.
This is what you need to be doing right now. Don't let your focus get on what's happening out there. Because the savior thing is not working for a lot of us, like I said, they got these oracles where they tell them, okay, 45% of the people feel this way. That's why statistics and census is so important. That right there was like a setup. That was set up to monitor the ascension, to monitor the ratio to who's awakening to the truth and who's not, who's happy with the 3D matrix and who's not. So they know that this is triggering for so many people. Why us? Why even show it so much? It's all over the news. It's all over your timeline. You can't scroll nowhere. So it went from coronavirus to this killing, this lynching. He uses knee instead of a tree, but same difference. It rhymes. Shit, knee and tree. It's a lynching. Just think symbolically what is that is speaking. So this is to trigger the nervous system.
We're gonna take your life. That's all. Yeah.
We're gonna force you to stop going within and focusing on that and go into fight or flight. And so everywhere you go, that's all people are talking about. They create tulpas. They create servitors with this energy. Where attention goes, energy flows.
That's right.
So if you get on it for a minute, pull back and get off of it and go back within. Deal with your shit. Deal with your shit. Because truth be told, the what really needs to be happening, and I still feel fear, he do too about some stuff. We ain't past it. But the stuff that make us fearful, that's the stuff that we need to be doing.
Exactly. Hands down.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
What is it you fearful of doing that you know will benefit you to do?
Or what is so taboo that got you so far from it that you scared to approach it and seek it? That you apprehensive about embracing it. Shit, embracing yourself. Actually.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because we have been, melanated people, brown people, black people have been demonized. We have been used for very high magic and black magic for generations and generations and generations, and just now becoming aware of it.
We've been under a spell.
Yep. And this is, so we're going to get into some more of the hidden agendas, and I'm going to give you all the way the light code came to me. And then we talked about it, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. So, you want to get into that conversation we was having?
Which part?
About the black woman.
Oh.
And the black man and the importance. Why they put so much focus on that?
Yeah. Well, you know, if y'all know us, y'all follow us, so y'all know we twin flames. And so one of the things that we've come to realize, man, in the last couple of years, just being in this relationship together, is how important we are to one another. I help to unlock things about her within her, and she does the same. She unlocks so much and helps me to see myself. Now, just the truth of that, just the reality of that alone, as counterparts, says everything. It means that it takes a divine connection first and foremost, but it also takes you in your highest self as a divine masculine and a divine feminine, in order to bring forth and release and be able to experience your highest potential, your best, if you want to say, your best self. And in order for us to walk in our essence, our God and Goddess essence, and in order for us to walk into that, in order for us to tap into that, you know, there's a lot of things that has there's like prerequisites, a lot of things that has to be in order, has to be in place. And one of those things is, man, the more and more we begin to honor our counterparts, and even if you're not in a relationship and you're single, just by lifting up the black man, women, and being an encouragement to black men, just by honoring and reverencing and uplifting our women and putting them on that pedestal, that will bring healing. We've been on this path and we've been studying and we've been breaking down some things, and we understand that in order for healing to take place, some people will say, well, no, we passed that point, but I beg to differ, because we're so limitless as to our abilities. We can do anything. And so when we come together, just our relationship alone within the house, we're able to bring healing to each other. We're able to bring healing to our children. We're able to bring healing to the neighborhood, the community. And it just goes on and on. It's like a snowball effect. And so getting back to the point that we honor the divinity in our brothers and sisters, in each other. When we get to that place of honoring the divinity in each other, then we can see some real change. Because what's going to happen is we're going to first see change within ourselves. Because now we have the heart space of holding sacred space for somebody else. whether the same way you can do the same way you hold space for your children. Like, no matter what they do, guess what? You still love them, and you still gonna take care of them, and whatever they need, you're there to try to help supply it. And that's the same way we need to be in our relationships, letting all the guards down and totally just being their support. Not only being the support, but being the executor and the initiator. And so one of the things that we feel in our twin flame experience and in this relationship is that we need to put more of that out. And so that's why we choose to do what we do in regards to being more transparent within the experiences that we have in our relationship. So holding that sacred space. Get to the place to where you holding that sacred space, and it just brings so much fulfillment. It brings so much purpose. It brings so much passion. The things that me and Cam been experiencing as of late, because one of my greatest challenges is coming from my heart, being more in my heart, being more in tune with my heart. And so as I do more and more practice and more work to get to the place of being in my heart space, the amount of the amount of covering or the amount of sacred space that Cam has held for me, it allows me to deal with my fuck ups, as we talked about before. The amount of space that I hold for her allows her to deal with her fuck ups. You know what I'm saying? And we're able to help each other heal. We're able to help each other see our issues and overcome. And because we've been so traumatized as a people, because we've been so traumatized, we got to do this for each other. It's no other way we're going to get to a place of where we're winning on a collective level, unless we get to the point of being mindful of holding that divine space for each other.
So
this is my goddess right here. Okay. And I put her on that pedestal as such.
I was in the kitchen listening. I'm gonna tell y'all what's wrong with all of us. Whether you're in a relationship or not, we don't see value in anything that does not fit into our limited perspective of what we think is beneficial. That's the problem. if you can't look at your exes and see value in the lessons you learn from them, I mean, like really feel it. Not, yeah, well, I can see how I can see. No, I mean, like really feel it. Where you can be like, I'm so thankful for that bullshit. I had a bullshit ass relationship for 13 years, 9 kids, whatever, however extreme your story can get. If you cannot see the benefit in that, you are gonna repeat those karmic relationships until you get it. I have to look at this man and see his divinity beyond his identity. Because the way he acts sometimes, the things he do, the things he say, it's not him. So the challenge is, can you see God even in what it has been taught to you to be demonic? That's when you get your power back. When you can look at Kali and see God. When you can look at Lilith, well, goddess, and see goddess, right? And they come, and Oya come, and she just coming, and she just messing some shit up. She just switching it up, transformation, breakup, divorce, loss of a job. I mean, shit, it just be looking really bad.
That's necessary.
If you would just stop and ask, what am I not seeing? Because you are lending your attention to something you're saying you want to be free from. So you're empowered. You're creating a magical creature. You are creating a servitor. You are creating a thought form. You are creating a tulpa by fixating on what is wrong. And nothing else is going to come to you. You cannot receive love. You will not be able to receive enlightenment. You will block out light codes. You will block out relationships, partnerships, businesses, creative ideas. It's just going to lock all of your shit up. You on lockdown.
Yep.
So the reason why so many of us from day to day, because I don't know if y'all, but you should be taking inventory of how you are behaving, what you're thinking about, what you're doing throughout the day, from day to day. That's what this is all about. You're the living word. You are logos with breath, here to create, with all of these senses and all of this activation coming online. You got to be paying attention and taking inventory of self. You can't master yourself unless you took inventory. So the number one problem is, when people get readings with me, they just sometimes need clarity. They just need help seeing the benefit in the things that seem like nothing but bad. And because of my astrology, now I have learned that, like, literally I am a goddess of beauty and love. I literally, like, it is embedded in the soul of who I am and where the planets was. That's just so amazing to me. Yes, I'm a newbie, because I'm saying that's amazing. It is. It amazes me. So the reason that I can do what I can do is because my whole life, I haven't even got to share my life story with y'all because it is so long. I really need a producer to connect with and do a movie. This is something that people would sit and watch, a 3-hour movie of my life. It has been darkness, chaos, violence, abuse, anger, rape, molestations, drug addiction, prison, jail. I mean, one thing, boom, 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 FBI investigations. Like, I have been, all of the stuff people rap about and brag about, I done been there, did all of it. All of the stuff, and then I've had all the experiences in the church. So, like, I done walk the dark side, I done walk the light side, I done walk the left side, the right side. And so now I understand, and I'm here helping people to manifest harmony and balance, which is why I'm a Libra. You know, to bring that restore balance. So you have to say, what is this pain trying to tell me? What is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson from this trigger? Until you do that, you go stay stuck in stagnant relationships. You go have stagnant patterns and thoughts about you, so you're not going to shift. Ernest asked me today, babe, what you doing? Something different. What you doing? Laying down in the middle of the day. Why? Because because I need to do something different. I want a different outcome. So I'm just going to experiment and switch stuff up and see where it goes. So this is necessary. Now, I would love to just get on the topic of where we kind of was going at first, because we wanted to tap into more of, well, why is it so significant? Like, you never see Asians get murdered by police officers. Why is that? For those of you who are like, I thought this channel was dedicated to spirituality, and now you're talking about race, and we're not divisive, okay? We're not divisive. We don't have a problem with what other people do. I mean, that's part of being more self-realized and working into self-mastery, where you don't judge nothing. It just is what it is. So, with that being said, we do have to look at the facts. Being spiritual don't mean you ignore the facts. The facts are, black men, most of the time, black women too, are the only ones. Why is this? Are the only ones. You can put anything you want to behind that. Black women are the only ones who can't wear their natural hair on the news. Black men are the only ones we watch get murdered. Pregnant black women are the only ones we see get pushed down on the ground and kill their baby, arrest them, and we never hear anything else about it. They just show it to us. They don't show us no outcome. They don't give us the opportunity to help fight the situation. It's just gone. It's like it don't even matter now. We just wanted you to see that. And now we're not going to talk about it no more. We don't get an update. We don't know how she's doing. Did the baby survive? Nothing. Okay. Why does it seem like the music is just so directed to destruction and division between a black man and a black woman? Why don't Hollywood support that? It's so many whys. Why have I never seen a Native American mugshot? Maybe Native Americans are extinct. Oh yeah, that makes sense. No. So it's not about the race. It's about what's in the genetics of the people that causes the Neanderthal because every being on this earth is not exactly the same, y'all. The same way we come from different galaxies to come here for this great experiment, we're not all from the same place. We're not all created by the exact same creator. We were not created with the same ingredients. This is just the truth. So what is it about us that's so triggering? What is it about us that stirs up fear? What is it about us that stirs up hatred? I went somewhere this week. I can't remember because I wiped my mind of it, because I'm like, I'm not going to let racist people get in my vibration and affect my life and my reality. But I went somewhere and she was so right. She like threw my money down, had to get my money. Then she took my bags. She was just slanging my bags. She was bagging the food and just slanging it out. Y'all, I'm standing there. Because it was so much that I could have said. I could have read this woman from 10 past lives to today. And I didn't. Because I know how to stand on my square. I know how to stand in my power. You don't have to use your vibration, and I don't have to respond and match that vibration. I don't fight fire with fire.
Right.
I would throw water on your ass and smile and say, thank you. That's power. Power is when you know you can mess somebody up and you don't. Weakness is when you feel the need to put your hands on people, to put your mouth on them. That's weakness. You are not in control of yourself. I was proud of myself. I still got to the truck, and I was like, whew. I was just thinking about how I could have told that bitch ass. I was. Because I have a really, really dark person inside of me. We all do. But she was not going to evoke my demons. I master my demons. I'm on the path to mastering all of myself. I am in control of my shadow. Because me and my shadow are friends. I don't see my shadow self as my enemy anymore. So this is having power.
Let me ask you this question then. Well, what would be the case? Because that same situation is the exact same situation that we met with when we encounter some of these law enforcement folks. It's an opportunity to diffuse the situation, or it's an opportunity to turn up. That's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? We done been stopped before. I done been stopped before by police, and I give them the third degree. Like, what you pulling me over for? I got my seatbelt on. I know I ain't speeding, and then it could be some dumb shit like anything. You know what I'm saying? Tail light. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time when we encounter these situations, your first mind, like, if you feel like you ain't done nothing wrong, got like, fuck y'all messing with me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go again. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And so, what would you say?
How do you decide how to respond?
Yeah.
Intuition.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intuition is the GPS system of the new earth.
Yeah.
Like the logical, analytical mind is the GPS system of the old earth. Intuition tell you when it's time to whoop somebody and when it's time to walk away.
Without a doubt.
But the thing is, you have to work on yourself every day. Look, if y'all feel like y'all be angry, depressed, mad, say all of that throughout the day, that's great. You know why? Because that means you got a whole lot of chaotic energy within you that you can transmute and use for your benefit. It's not negative. Mm-hmm. So when you can learn and look at that and say, you know what? How can I? Okay, spirit guides, ancestors, look, help me. Higher self, help me. How can I transmute this energy? That's all it is. We are, this is the new earth. This is still the bridge to the new earth. So you gotta be on some, I'm just on such a whole other consciousness where I don't respond the way I used to and I don't have to. But if you're not working to integrate yourself and you still judging yourself, you know what I'm saying? If you still hard on yourself, you're critical, that's the key. So the key to your awakening, your enlightenment, to unlocking the desires of your heart is working on yourself and mastering yourself. So use these situations that happen outside of you to practice what you have learned. Gnosis is just the knowledge. But like Hathor energy was communicating to me, which I found out that I'm in alignment with Hathor as well, which is sink into your heart space, because decisions in the 5D earth and forward will be made from the heart space, not the head space. She said the head is dead. And I said, She said the head is dead. The head only knows how to make sense, because if you think about it, 95% of our consciousness is subconscious, unconscious. It's just like a glacier, an iceberg. You see the tip of it, but what's below the surface is way bigger in comparison to that.
Exactly. Yep.
So your conscious mind is limited, but the unconscious and the subconscious got all this power there that you can use. But the programs have made us afraid to tap into this. Mm-hmm. We grew up and we watched Paranormal Activity, The Exorcist. I mean, the list go on and on. Freddy Krueger. They was putting those images into our subconscious, unconscious minds, so that when we began trying to unlock it, then the subconscious mind triggered the nervous system to respond as if what you're doing will only be negative for you. And y'all can look at the playlist. We got the playlist, the RG Weirdo Gang playlist, and you see it's a lot of left-hand patterns in there. You know, it's a lot of E.A. Coedding's way, his path workings in there. And they tell you sometimes chaos do pop off in your life. You do certain rituals, but sometimes that's what's necessary to get you to the next point.
Right.
So if you allow your peace and your happiness, your joy to always be determined by what you're experiencing in life, you are never going to be able to own and control yourself. Yourself will always be a slave to your situation. So they put this situation in front of us to distract us. They want a civil war. They want a race war. It's not going to happen because it's too many of us anchoring these higher frequencies. Hell, y'all watching us. So, you know, we definitely ain't the typical channel, you know, like we don't call ourselves weirdos for nothing. We're not part of the masses. We're not. Ernest was trying to be normal today, and he was just like, I just feel off, and I was like, well, you know, babe, I'm gonna help you with that. One of the reasons that your ass is crazy. What you want to feel normal all the time? Well, I'm just feeling irritated and I feel this feel. I was like, cause your ass is crazy. You crazy as hell. And he was like, well, what I'm trying to be normal? I said, yep. And he was just like, I don't want to be normal. I was like, exactly. So embrace your crazy. So yeah, get your Palo Santo, your sage, you know, do whatever you need to do to cleanse your energy. But no, your ass is crazy. Crazy is a good word.
Yeah.
That means that I'm not normal. Because if you normal, you still in the automated illusion, and you can't see nothing else. So this is why y'all still have a lot of situations in your life that seem like you've been wanting to change and you can't change. Another reason that is happening is simply, it's 11:11. I shake gratitude. Another reason that is happening is because we are actually dark workers. We are dark workers. We are connected with dark energy. That's why black was depicted as bad. Horror movies depicted as bad. Anything black was bad. You show your kids a piece of fruit that's black, and they go like, ugh.
The banana don't look right when it start getting.
And I'll be like, but the banana be sweet when it's dark. Ugh, I ain't gonna eat that.
It's rotten.
So the program is so deep that, so this goes back to the womb of the woman, you know? Men have wombs too, womb of the heart, just a place where energy and creation is birthed. But a woman, like your sacral chakra, that place, that's where you give birth, you know? And a lot of us women, we want love, we want to feel good, we want to be happy, we want to be comfortable, we want to feel safe. And we ain't doing none of the stuff we need to do that. Matter of fact, almost everything that you probably do day to day as a routine is stuff that feeds the opposite of what it is that you want. And then you wonder why you're so frustrated. You wonder why you're not happy. So I'm going to read to y'all what I wrote down. This is still relevant. Whether you're still dealing with the Jesus character or not is relevant. This is relevant because Jesus is still a very powerful thought form, and even if you did soul contract revocations from religious systems, again, this is genetic for us. So I don't think one meditation or one ritual is going to get it. I think it's going to have to be a continuum, because the spiritual awakening is a continuum. And so unless you can remote view inside of yourself energetically and see every cord attachment, you don't know if the religious stuff is still having an impact on you. Okay? Because don't get it twisted, the Bible is very, very powerful magic. Can you read this? It's I just be putting
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for posting this, because I've been stuck on this topic lately. Here is a snippet of what light codes I downloaded. As a black woman with a primordial womb in which all creation was birthed, I had to marry Jesus, and he became my groom. So basically my womb belonged to him because I belonged to him. I agreed to only have sex if I was married. But how would I marry someone divinely appointed for me if I'm already married to Jesus? Based on the laws in the Bible, if someone married more than one person without a divorce from the other, then I've created a sin called adultery. So the soul contract with the thought form Jesus put me in a labyrinth in which my soul contracted to Jesus allows my womb to be used by him as he or the church saw fit.
Woo!
So according to the Bible, the man was also guilty of adultery by marrying him even though I was already married to Jesus. So now we're both in a soul contract that kept us in a perpetual state of low vibrations. The black woman has the highest rate of attendance and loyalty to a God they know not because she is the battery to keep that thought form alive. Once black women awaken and stop following the rules of the Bible, the church loses its power, which is the plan to awaken us to a higher level of consciousness. This is also why black women are key to the uprising from bondage. However, getting a monotheistic patriarchy worshiping woman to walk away from this prison is next to impossible. However, look at me and many others. It's possible and it's happening. The black woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
The black woman powerful womb. Yeah.
The black woman's powerful womb is also how the black music industry keeps its grip on the black culture of the unawakened. I'm sorry. That's true. This is the reason black men are rewarded for disrespecting the melanated women in raps and now R&B. If he continues to accept material wealth
by talking all kinds of crap.
By talking all kinds of crap about women, he perpetually keeps the abuse and trauma alive that was previously done to us by white slave plantation owners. They're doing the masses' dirty work, and sadly, most of them don't know access to new levels of power is accomplished by supporting women and building her up versus tearing her down.
Okay, you can start right there.
Okay.
Okay.
That's exactly what we were saying.
Look. So, you by healing yourself, y'all need to clear y'all wombs.
Women.
Men. Y'all need to ask forgiveness of the divine feminine, of the cosmic mother, of the mother earth. I'm sorry. No, I apologize for my ignorance.
I'm committed to be better.
And I'm committed to be better. You know, I'm committed to the change. I want to give honor to the divine feminine. I give honor to my mother, regardless of what kind of mother she was. I give honor to all mothers. This is what's going to shift us out of this. That is so powerful. That disrespecting the black woman is what keeps the music industry going.
And keeps us down.
And it keeps us in its perpetual state of low consciousness. It's so bad.
Because we can't come together.
We cannot come together. And they have tricked us and made us think that that's not important. Well, if you're spiritual, that doesn't matter. No, it matters. It matters. Feelings matter.
That's right.
As Kanye said. And so, music makes the soul of a man. They have created these, there are demons that I believe exist in us that aren't even of our creation. It's like new modern day demons from the programming that we run on. So soon as you try to do something that's going to connect you to your highest potential and the best timeline that you can have access to for your life and to create the reality that you want, all of a sudden all this stuff come up in your mind like that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work, counter magic don't work for you, the last time the counter was black all around there, why you keep doing that, you need to just stop, you messed up, you was just yelling at your kids and then you trying to you can't start no YouTube family talking YouTube channel talking about family because you don't even know how to treat your kids. You can't be giving nobody advice about this because your husband cheating on you, and the accuser. And in the Bible, we heard about this accuser. So this is the hidden agenda that's keeping us stuck. But I'm telling y'all, we coming out of this.
We have to be one within. We have to be one with ourselves within, and that is the place that we need to start.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you all know strangers to understanding that there's a war on for our minds, and so one part, you know what I'm saying, from the physical flesh having its urges and temptations and desires, and then the mind having a mind of itself to want, the ego wanting to do what it wants, and then your heart. And so look at those three aspects there right there alone, and you realize how much of disarray and maybe disharmony there is. And so one of the greatest challenges as you're spiritually awakening is to get to the place to where you just are totally embracing yourself and all aspects about yourself. And as you're coming into the knowledge of it, guess what? Again, being in harmony means that you're one within. Then, guess what? That is shown. That is what is put forth when you be in your authentic self, and that's what people see. You know what I'm saying? That's what my wife sees. That's what I see in my wife. That's what our children sees. You know what I'm saying? That's what people that we encounter see. It's something about it, but then when you open up your mouth and you get into talking, and they get a piece of your mind or a piece of your heart, they like, they resonate with what you're talking about. They vibrate, but you already on a high vibration, so you able to bring people up. But we can't do that if we're not first within ourselves working to be one with ourselves, and not so fucking over here, over there, like this, like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a time for everything, but in order to get the things that we want to get accomplished done, and to fight this enemy that we up against, shit, we got to be on point.
Yeah, and it's got to be done exactly how he's saying. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be personal. Okay. But tell y'all something about business, because I know y'all love to know our business. I'm nosy as hell. I like to know people's business, so I know y'all do too.
That's life.
Yeah. So, John Wineland is a new. He's really not a new teacher, but we've been really pressing in on every aspect. Like, what can we do sexually to help? Because sexual energy is creative energy. Creative energy is spiritual energy, which means it is the foundation of spiritual energy. A lot of women who aren't in relationships are celibate. I talk to a lot of men who are celibate. I talk to people who are in relationships and they're really not having sex, and that's for a reason. That's because the goal is to go within, to heal these wounds, to fill yourself up with love, so then you can go out into the world and be your best self. You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason for all of that. But that's why so much shame and stuff has been attached to sex. So much trauma has been attached to the womb. You listen to rap songs, and I mean, they make rape sound like it's making love, like it's the new replacement for making love. You know, it's so sick and twisted. Most women that I've talked to personally, they feel uncomfortable pleasuring themselves. They feel guilty about buying toys. They don't embrace their body. It's so much shame, and that stuff is toxic. It causes disease, and I believe that it opens up a whole other timeline for you that's totally opposite of where you can go. It's your lowest potential, and it manifests through shame, guilt.
Trap.
Yeah.
That's a trap.
So John Wineland talks about the 6 pillars of love, and he explains exactly what I had been feeling, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't have the words to express it. That's how deep my trauma is, to where I can feel it, but I can't express it because I can't even find the words to fit what I feel. I figured out what it was, and I believe this is key. feel safe. Nor do I feel like Ernest can handle my feminine energy because he can't express his own emotions or handle and embrace his own self. So love in the nervous system is attuned to project love where I can feel it, like through my body. You know, I need to nurture it within myself. And so I told Ernest, I know what it is now. You don't make me feel safe because even if you haven't specifically really done anything, because my experiences, my programming, my epigenetics, my trauma, I'm still healing and purging those things. And so, no, I don't feel safe. If you had uncles and cousins that touched on you or an older boyfriend and took advantage of you, ladies, you probably don't feel safe by a divine masculine incarnate. You don't really have to be doing anything to trigger you not feeling safe. It just don't fully. You might feel safe. I can feel safe 70% with him, but there's still 30% of me that don't feel safe just because his energy and his signature of masculine energy has usually led to something harmful for me.
Put a break right there. And then from the opposite perspective, men, here we are. We probably done been hurt before in the past, traumatized in some relationships, may have even experienced some fucked up shit coming up from the women around you and your family. You know what I'm saying? For whatever role that they play. And so then when you get in that relationship and here is a woman that is nothing like nothing what you done experienced or had to experience, and basically is the opposite. Everything you need, everything you can want, everything that you desire, loves you unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? Like no games, no cap, no shit. Through all your struggles, they still with you. They still ride with you. And it's so easy to push them away. And that is the other example or the other end to what she was saying as to how some of these issues be, some of these traumas be.
Absolutely.
Now you pick that
up. This is not something we can deal with in one show. We just wanted to lay some stuff on you from our own experiences. So at least you can begin being able to identify what it is that you're feeling. In order to shift from the identity in which you have because of your indoctrination and step into your I divinity, which is above and beyond time and space and all of the indoctrination, you have to learn how to identify the triggers, identify the thoughts. Where is this coming from? Why? But don't get stuck on the where and the why. Sometimes you'll never find out the where and the why, and you're just like, okay, well, let me just deal with it, you know? You don't always have to know the origin of something to deal with it, okay? So I feel like this was a lot, you know, and I'm glad that we were able to get into this. I want to do the tarot card reading because I feel like for a lot of y'all now, you have some questions and you're just kind of wondering, how does this fit into your own spiritual awakening? So we can ease into the tarot card part of this.
Okay.
I'm going to do live tarot card readings. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Ernest is going to scroll through so he can kind of keep up with who wants to know something. You can kind of try to keep your questions down to one question. Possibly something that could be for everybody. Collective questions are definitely important because those questions typically is something that we all are experiencing and dealing with. So before I get started, I'm going to let you scroll through the comments so you can respond to them. I'm going to go and anoint my hands to get my crystals, and then we're going to do the tarot card reading.
Yeah, thank y'all for being in the chat and sharing in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. So has what we've been saying, has it been resonating? I see from the comments some of the things that we're saying, y'all can feel, and it resonate with y'all. Cool. Okay. If your partner is not spiritual and they have no interest in growing in that aspect, how can I influence him to have an interest? I'm going to read that question again. If your partner is not spiritual and they have no interest in growing in that aspect, how can I influence him to have an interest? You want me to?
Well, I guess you can say how I dealt with you.
Okay. Well.
Because I was ready to jump, start doing stuff, and.
But I wasn't. It wasn't that I wasn't interested in growing though.
No, you weren't interested in growing.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody who below the veil of consciousness, it's not much you can do.
Yeah. I mean,
you gotta just
really,
let them go through their own timeline.
Now, one of the challenges that we did have is that the speed or her level of accelerating, you know what I'm saying, was faster than mine. And so we dealt with that, and one of the things that we had to come to terms with is that everybody's, if you want to use the word evolution, everybody's transformation, everybody's growth and development ain't on the same time frame. And so you may get to do some work every day. They may do some work once a week. That's just an example. And so I would say that the only thing that you can do is just continue to share experiences, but just hold some sacred space for them. If you really love this person, then guess what? That means you really love this person. And if you know that y'all are meant to be together, then guess what? You just have to do what I was talking about. We've been talking about, and that's just holding it sacred space. You got to see the divinity in that person beyond their identity. Okay? What you see in them and how they are right now, meaning they're not moved by anything in regards to spiritual awakening or anything like that. They're kind of stuck in a place. Well, you have to see them beyond what you see. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see them beyond their actions. If you have gotten sort of like an epiphany of, no, this is the relationship that I'm supposed to be in, and this is the one, then guess what? The only thing that you can do is, as you're continuing to grow and transform, hey, babe, I experienced this. I did this. You know, that's about all you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can't force nobody's hand to do anything. You know what I'm saying? We all been given free will, and that is about the most influence, I would say. Of course, you do have work that you could do to kind of like put a little, give a big boost and assistance in that area. You could do that, but I would say that that's not always the approach. What would you say, babe?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I've been trying to, really work with dark energy a lot lately, so I'm gonna give you the kind of darker side of that. You chose that person. So if you chose that person because there was a karmic relationship, will be open to learn the lesson of a karmic relationship, and you can move past it. If you want to be with them, whether they are conscious or as conscious as you are, or even interested or not, then you have to find the things about them that you love and put all of your focus there. Don't try to make them be like you. Don't try to make them be like maybe another couple that you feel like, babe, like, she trying to set up double dates so maybe he can get the hint. I want you to have some of the characteristics that this couple has, because you chose them. And you don't want to step in the way of what their divine timing is for their soul. Their soul may not be able to handle what your soul can handle at this present time. So then you become an evangelist. And evangelism is actually very evil. And evil just really means to live. But evangelism is wicked sorcery.
Yeah.
It's high magic. It's black magic. So
It's
I'm just going to
take this
berate you.
Yes.
Heal this man,
Yes.
and I'm gonna preach to you, and I'm gonna pour holy water on you. I'm gonna anoint you in your sleep. I mean, I was all this shit, y'all.
And you will be damned if you don't receive it.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. Because I'll be like, damn you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And you don't want to make people you're in a relationship with that you can't walk away from them for whatever reason, because the kids, bills, the house, whatever. You don't want to make that be a situation where you performing black magic on them, basically trying to bend their will to your will. Yeah. So just try to just make it allow your spiritual awakening to be a living, moving testimony. Yep. That is the best way to do that. And even if y'all stay together and you just plant some seeds, who knows? It could be 5-10 years from now and they might start coming around. Yep. But can you love unconditionally with your woke ass? You woke, right? And you on the path of spiritual awakening, right? And you lifting up your consciousness, right? So you, being as conscious as you are, should be able to hold sacred space for an unconscious or less conscious person you're in a relationship with. So I want to say focus on what you are accountable for and what you can and should be doing, and not what they can and should be doing. Because at the end of the day, all you got is you. And you came in this world with you, and you probably just leave with you. So focus on you and be the thermometer and not the thermostat in y'all reality. And if he's in a negative, or he or she is in a negative vibration, and you've been trying to shift them out of it and you can't, let it go and say, you know what? I want to honor you right now. I honor the divinity in you. I honor the God in you. I honor how you feel, and I'm not going to try to make you feel no other way, because you have a right to feel however you want to feel. I love you, baby, regardless. And keep it moving. And just offering unconditional awakened love on its own will eventually have a healing impact on that other person. But don't expect them to become what you want them to be. Because when y'all got together, if you was on the level they was on when y'all got together, and then you started accelerating and kind of left them behind a little bit.
No sound.
Yeah. No
sound.
Really?
They done cut the sound off.
Wow.
We ain't done nothing. We just been sitting there.
Yeah. Okay.
No sound. Can y'all hear us?
Can y'all still not hear us? Is your Bluetooth on?
I hear you. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. That's how we would say to deal with that situation. What's the other question? How would you go about remote viewing your energetic bodies?
If you cannot trust yourself, it's going to be hard to do. Okay? So I'm going to, because I am going to use the cards, I will. But I want to say to you, the first thing in remote viewing is to be able to trust what you see. So it's just you, close your eyes, imagine your energetic body. You can imagine your aura. See how your aura looks. Is there any holes in it? Is it full? How big is your auric field? How big does it feel? And this can be measured by your ability to be in your heart, to feel that resonance of the heart and the love. But if you are not yet at a place where you trust your inner being, where you trust the small, still voice, where you trust your intuition, you go doubt everything that you see. So that is the first thing. So when I saw these two huge dragons in front and behind the house, my very first reaction was to doubt it. My second reaction was, hold up. The divine feminine energy came in and was like, hold on. Now, if you had this come into your mind, then it's real. But what is your definition of real? So whatever your mind can perceive, it's real. If you can believe that, you can start remote viewing within your energetic body right now to see if you have attachments, holes in your aura, what color is your aura, and just trust what you feel. So if you're not clairvoyant, that's okay. You may not see anything. It may just be a feeling that you get, and you might be like, "It feel like my aura is cloudy right now," or "It feel like." So a lot of times it comes in sensations and feelings, and not like sight. I'm gonna ask the cards too. How can everybody on a collective level start remote viewing? The most important thing to remote view definitely is your own energetic body. You know, to me, right now, the focus is within. So, what tool could the awakening souls on a collective level, what tool can be used to help to remote view? And really, what we're saying is, what tool can be used to just help us to go within deeper than we have before, where we can see energetically, even on a cellular level, and even see our DNA? What tool can be used? The oxide crystal, which represents Mother Earth. So this speaks to me and says tapping into Mother Earth and grounding, and that's so beautiful because I'm actually doing research and waiting on to be able to put together a meditation of the womb. I'm working on a meditation to put us in a womb, the womb of what I call Daughter Earth and Mother Universe. You know, the cosmic mother, the primordial divine feminine mother energy. Actually, she's been coming to me and she's like, I want you to recreate the womb, so that they can come into the womb for whatever it is that they need to clear and heal. So it's beautiful that this card came up because that was just a reminder to me. Okay, so with this crystal, it's related to the heart chakra. Okay. And this crystal also encourages you to feel the oneness with the earth and the blessings and healing that comes with such a sacred connection. Mother Gaia shares her medicine of divine love, nurturing, grounding, balance, and divine, deep feminine energy of healing. Okay? This can help assist in unresolved wounds from your own mother. For a lot of us, that is blockage of the intuition, because intuition is feminine in energy. If you had feminine archetypes who were negative and harmful to you, that is going to be a direct blockage to you using your psychic, more intuitive, spiritual gifts. Okay, because all of that is done with the right brain, which is feminine. Okay, and so this particular one that I pull, this means that the heart of Mother Earth, or the Schumann resonance. So listen to Schumann resonance binaural beats, okay? This is going to help you to tap into this. Taking your shoes off, walking in the grass, sitting on rocks, and just feeling that energy. This is going to help you to be able to identify these deep core wounds that's carried. And look, it specifically says this assists in identifying trauma carried from the womb. It's exactly what we've been saying to y'all. Beautiful. Okay. Who else got a question? Thank y'all for the donations and like, share, subscribes too. Y'all can just definitely keep dropping them donations in there because I got some new cards I'm finna get, and I'm really excited to be able to go deeper with y'all in these readings and stuff.
Speak on the Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde? I think the Venus retrograde has been standing out to me more than the Mercury retrograde because we've had a Mercury retrograde already this year. So we've already felt that energy and the blocking communication and stuff. The Venus retrograde is been really speaking to me a lot more because Venus is my planet. I am a Venusian goddess all through my natal chart. And so when it goes in retrograde for me, that's like a lot of things centered around relationships, centered around love, and even the love that we have for ourselves will be challenged. And but that's good because the challenges is how we grow. So I wouldn't focus too much on a Mercury retrograde. It'll have an impact on communication, but really the bigger impact is our own trauma that we are having to heal.
Okay. What can we do daily to cleanse our wombs and become masters of our creativity and manifestations? That's from Nia.
That's a power pack question, Nia. Nia wants to know what can be done daily. What can be done daily to help us to clear our womb and be able to use our creative energy from the womb, from the most sacred space of where everything in this world has come through. What day-to-day practice? Soul connection crystal, which represents lovers. So the day-to-day practice would be soul gazing with yourself. Again, whether me and Ernest is in a relationship or not, or in a good space or whatever, we are always working on falling in love with every part of ourself. So what will help you to be able to do that is mirror magic, which is soul gazing, okay? Look into your own eyes, stare into your own eyes until you begin to hear thoughts that are of a higher vibration than what you normally hear. So you may be staring into your own eyes. It could take 2 minutes, it could take 5 minutes, it could take 15 minutes before you hear anything. You want to document the thoughts that are coming through. So the thoughts may begin as, girl, oh my goodness, them bags is ridiculous today. You need to get some sleep. And then the thoughts may begin to shift to, you know what, but even though them bags big and you get no sleep, you still beautiful. And then the thought from there will shift and shift and shift. You know, fellas, this is really important for y'all because it's much harder for y'all to sink into the energy of the heart, the seat of the heart, which is the womb, you know, which is a form of the womb. A woman has 2 wombs. We have 2 art lines as well. So, you know, we just really built for this soul gazing and just going deep like this intuitively. But the more that you nurture the divine feminine part of you, the more that you are able to tap in as well. And so, fellas, this is really important for y'all. Y'all need to be looking in the mirror every single day, looking in your eyes, soul gazing with yourself, and working on falling in love with yourself. This is so important because if you do not fill yourself up with love, you cannot be a conductor of love. Okay? You cannot be a conductor of electricity the way that you need to. Men, your energy is electric. Women, we are more magnetic. And so you want to strengthen the electricity in the body. So fellas, get in the healthy stuff that you learn from Dr. Sebi and Dr. Africa. Use those things to increase the alkalinity of your body so that your body becomes a better conductor. And practice getting in your heart by soul gazing with yourself and falling in love with yourself. Okay? That's what's important. All right.
Soul connection crystal. Yes. Was this a regular clear quartz?
How about those? We got those. We just need to rewrap them.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. It's clear quartz.
Yeah. Clear quartz. Yeah.
Yeah. This clear quartz. It just was double terminated, so it had 2 apexes on top of the clear quartz.
I can ask this question. I've been feeling guilt for choosing not to give attention to the Black Lives Matter protesting because I don't want to focus my energy on it. How do you keep from feeling like you're not supporting your people?
By doing what you know you should do. Blue kyanite. Kyanite blue crystal came up. It represents letting go. Letting go. Let it go. Let go of the standard that you feel you have to meet, that you always have to do something to fix something and make something better. Let it go.
That's huge.
That is not your responsibility. Even though we are awakening gods and goddesses, we are not sent here to be saviors. We are not sent here to fix everything that is wrong. We are here to become alchemists. We are here to learn how to take that dark energy and transmute it into something beneficial. So if you are feeling like I need to do something, you know, I feel bad that I'm not doing something, then you can say, you know what? But by me mastering myself that is doing something, because I can teach my sons or my grandsons, or I can teach my younger brothers, or I can teach men how to be spiritual. And I could share with them the awakening that I'm experiencing, and I'm going to break the curse. I'm going to begin breaking this. To me, when you pour in libations, when you communicate with your ancestors, when you burn ancestor money, when you write petitions, when you make sure that you cleanse your auric field, when you use things like Anubis and pool, and you just visualize this energy on top of your vehicle while you out driving, you're calling in protection when you're doing that. So by doing those things, I say take it spiritual. If you feel like you need to do something, or if you feel guilty for doing nothing, you can do one of two things. You can let that standard go and find a new standard in how to deal with these things, which will be something magical, aka something spiritual, or just practice releasing that, feeling like you have to be liable. Yeah. Because that obligation and that responsibility is too huge.
Everybody play their parts in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not out on the front lines protesting and doing, that don't mean that you're not in agreement. That don't mean that you're not giving energy to that cause. And like she said, find another means to be able to support. You might want to call on
his ancestors. She might could go and be like, you know what? I'm going to pour libations for the ancestors of the Floyd family, the ones that have passed on. You know, rise up and meet him as he is crossing over. Because a soul typically lingers around about 3 days, especially if you die in a quick traumatic way. We can exit our lives. Typically, it's 3 ways you can die. It's 3 different ways you can choose to exit your life. It's free will. As crazy as it sounds, I'm going to tell you that this was one of his exits. This was one of the ways his soul contract agreed to do this. So sometimes when we see this happen, these are souls that were much more advanced than a lot of other people, where they was on a level where they was like, okay, I'll die like that if that's what it's going to take to wake people up, to see that we're not equal, that there is something different, and that they have been superior over us, but they're really not superior. It's really not about who's superior. So just keep that in mind, okay? That is like very, very important. I also want to tell y'all that the last name Floyd, we need help probably back there. Check on PJ. The last name Floyd. I'm going to share this with y'all because I want to help clear some more of this obligation, because we've been feeling it too. It's like, damn, you know, we just sitting there complaining. You know, we just sitting there, I'm so sick of that, and and that's so messed up, and you know, but then it's like, damn, we being hypocrites. We supposed to be all about that life, but we ain't doing nothing. And like I told Ernest, I was like, a protesting, that is a 3D consciousness way of dealing with things. But when you take something to the ancestors, and when you begin calling on deities, and when you begin stepping up your own protection, you might want to do a ritual for all of the sons, men, and brothers in your family, so that they have protection from this police entity. You may be the only one in your family who on that level. You can do that ritual for them to protect them.
Right. So just know that you doing your part.
Yeah, absolutely. So Floyd, and this is what made this stick out to me. Because Floyd Mayweather been going through a lot of stuff. He been in the news and the media a whole lot, from the stabbing of his daughter to the untimely passing of his children's mother. Like right after their mama died, all this bad shit happened. Then you look at Kim Porter's death, you know, and her kids went through some stuff. So I just keep seeing this theme of this happening, where there's this melanated woman who dies, and then there are these events that happen right after that. You know what I'm saying? So it got my attention. I was like, the key word right now and the vibrational resonance of the word that they're using is Floyd. So I went to look up the gematria of Floyd, and it's equal to 480. In Jewish gematria equals 480. In English gematria equals 372. Okay? And in simple gematria equals 62. Now, when you search for other 480, 864 words, and 62, okay? When you search for other words with this exact same gematria, one of the first ones is God is a human life, or God is a human experiencing life, an aspect of God experiencing life. So they let me know the divinity and the timing of what is happening, and it's because we're awakening that we are gods and goddesses in human form, experiencing life. Okay? The next thing that is equal to that is God's entry. God's entry. That lets you know that this portal, this eclipse is coming up on June the 1st, and there's another eclipse on June the 15th. You know, it won't be any more eclipses, I think, until like the end of the year. So this lets you know that this is the entry of a higher access to our divinity and godhood. Okay? 480 also equals to enemy, the enemy. So to me, this was to say, for those of you who are awakening, look deeper. Look deeper. Look deeper within what you perceive to be the enemy. Now, this one really got me. Floyd in gematria is equal to Sirius B. I don't, anybody that ever watched the Bobby Hemmett lecture, a Dr.Bey lecture, ever read the book? Matter of fact, we got that book too. Sirius B, that book. We got that book. Matter of fact, for those of you who are subscribed to the website, we'll make that book, put that book on there so y'all can read the book about Sirius B, because we don't really have time to really get into it right now. But just know it's the dog star, and it's very connected to the galaxy where a lot of people who are incarnates of melanated people now originally come from. So it was no coincidence that Floyd is attached to Sirius B, and Sirius B is where a lot of melanated people come from, originate from before coming here. There's no coincidence in any of those things. Okay? Now, it was one other that stood out when I looked up the gematria of it. Oh, it also represents the Fibonacci number. And you know that's the golden mean rule, the Fibonacci sequence. That is the spiral. That is where all life comes from. Okay? It also is connected to the phrase too cold-hearted. Can't make this up. I cannot make this up.
Wow.
Too cold-hearted. You can look it up for yourself, okay? 480 in gematria is also equal to the paradise of God. So, for those who can look at the chaos in the world and still fixate their eyes on manifesting the paradise of God here, which is what we are here to do, there is power in that, and that allows God's entry. Beautiful. I'm gonna stop right there. I keep going, but y'all get the picture. 480 also represents being kind to each other. Be kind to each other. Okay? So this is it. And then the last one that connected and really made sense was forced abortion in gematria is 480. And we know with the cervical cancer, with the vaccines, that's a form of forced sterilization, or i.e. forced abortion, just anything that's going to stop the procreation. Yeah. So there we go on that. Did anybody else have a question? Okay, y'all, this gonna be our last one. If anybody else got a personal question, you know, you can definitely go to the website and fill out the form and get a reading.
Was Floyd a major hurricane that we had? Was it the name of one of the
hurricanes we had? Yes. Floyd and gematria is also connected to earthquakes too. It's funny you mention that. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna pull one more card for the collective. I want to go now to, because a lot of y'all worry too much. I feel it. I do it, so I know. And we're trying to get out of that. Because when you know and trust that things are going to work out for your greatest good, you begin shifting out and worrying so much, and I can feel that. So I'm going to ask, what is the origin of the worry? What can be done about it? What is the origin of the worrying, and what can be done about it? Because what happens when you awaken spiritually, you become a perfectionist. And sometimes being a perfectionist is not a good thing because it makes you worry too much. Okay? So, I feel like on a collective level, a lot of us experience fear and a lot of worry and a lot of not fully trusting that things are going to work out for our highest good. What information do you have for us about that? Like, what can be done about that? What message do you have for the collective in regards to fear and the worrying? Okay. All right, here we go. So the card that I pull, it says fall into my arms. And I'm gonna let y'all see this image, and you can see the ancestors inside the cave up above. You can see the woman with a small child in her arms, and she's like in this cave in these beautiful waters, and she's holding him, and she's literally saying, fall into my arms, because she got backup. And not only do she got ancestors, but she has all of these spirits just flying all around her, and she's inside of a cave, and this cave only has one hole with light coming through it. This is surrendering. Surrender. That's what this represents, surrender. This is the Starseed Oracle deck for those of you who are wondering. Let's see.
Let's see if I can read that at the bottom. Watch out, Spinks.
I'm gonna see if I can find something else to break down this card. This card represents surrender, holding the opposites and extremes of life. Y'all not gonna believe this. Listen. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be. That being human can be lonely and confusing. That the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often, we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded. And when things are bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all, stop Sphinx. We're all here to expand and grow. And it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. Did y'all hear that? We are all here to expand and grow. And it's through the extremes of life. That's the only way it happens. It says you're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience. What I just say that the gematria of Floyd was. It was God in human form experiencing human life. Look at this. The alignment of this is so synchronistic. Wow. It says to let them initiate you more fully into life. So for those of you, and even myself, I'm like, do I need to go ahead and pay that $5 for this initiation? Like, I'm feeling like I can't get moving. I feel like maybe I just need to be initiated. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, okay, E5. Okay, that kind of pulled me a little bit. Well, I'm looking, I'm ready to go deep, and I'm ready to work for it, and I'm ready to have to push myself and challenge myself, and I just want to grow. I just want to expand. That's all of us. That's why y'all resonate with us. And look at this. It's saying your initiation takes place by the extreme things that you experience in life. And the more that you open your heart to this experience, the less the agony will be, and the more ecstasy will be available to you. The beauty and the bitterness of life. So what did I say at the very beginning? Energetically, I said right now, we have to learn how to see God in everything. The beauty and the beast. So that's why I said we are dark workers. Because in order to see an element of light come from something dark, you have to work that darkness. You have to work in the darkness. Where everybody else, like, I need a light switch. I need a flashlight. and you just like, no, I'm here in this darkness and I'm going to make it work. I'm just going to feel my way. I can't see. Okay, I won't use my eyes. I'll use my hands and feel my way. This is why feelings matter. Okay, feelings communicate something. And so we are being initiated into higher consciousness. We came here to create a new earth. That's big. It says this life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness. Hand over your worries. This is literally what I asked, y'all. Hand over your hurt, your sorrow, the fears, the burdens, and the doubts. To lay them on her altar. To fall fully into her arms. To remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I have truly lived. So here's a star seed activation. And these are questions that you can present to your higher self to open up for you to receive answers. So it is, and this is like an affirmation, okay, to help activate you deeper into the card that I just pulled and the wisdom that it unlocked. I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar, and I fall completely into her arms. So do y'all see why with Hollywood and with Disney, the mother was always missing? And if it was a mother in the picture, she was an evil stepmother. She was a wicked witch. You from Cinderella's story. Like the mother was always like, where the mom at? Well, where her mom at? Well, where? Like none of these kids in these Disney movies and stuff, like their mothers, the cartoons and stuff, it wasn't depicted in a good way. And that's because of the attack that was on the mother energy. So it made us subconsciously not trust divine feminine mother energy. Mother energy is not cute. It's not just the Virgin Mary. It is the triple dark goddess. It is the mother, the maiden, and the crone. You know, it is the wisdom. It can be the chaos sometimes is the mother. And sometimes you got to call, when that pendulum swings, you got to just call on the mother and be like, mother, just come hold me right now. Like, I don't even know what to do. Just hold me. Hold me. Just ask. Ask and you shall receive. And the mother has come through this whole video. And every card that I pulled was related to her. And I'm pulling from 3 different decks, as you can see. Like, you can't make that up. Y'all heard me shuffling, you know? So, and I specifically wore polka dots, and, you know, I just wanted to exude that feminine energy, you know, from the colors that I chose and everything. And so they constructed this because we have to give her the image and the honor that she is due.
Said Floyd called his mother in his last month. Wow. See? That's deep. So shift your focus to the mother, to daughter earth, the mother, the cosmos, the mother energy, the feminine energy within you that is divine, primordial energy. You got Tiamat, you know, the great dragon mother. Like these mothers, they were so primordial, they couldn't do nothing but depict them as being evil and demonic and bad because they knew it was the key. So the reason why when bad stuff, polarity and contrast and extremes happen in your life, and all of a sudden you feel like you got to be a thermostat and you can't be a thermometer no more. Well, damn, this situation is on hell. Well, then I guess I set it to 90 degrees in the house. It's like that, you know? And it's like, no, it's 90 degrees outside. Why would I do that inside the house? So control what you can, but what you can't, call on the mother. Just like Floyd did. Just like the other video where you had the grandmother trying to protect her grandson from the police. And I saw that video and I was like, oh my goodness. Like,
this is that mother energy is coming forward. Like, no, no, this is not, no. So embrace her. Please work on your mother wounds. Don't ignore them. When they come up, pay attention to it. You know, if you can't do nothing else, think of nothing else, write it down, write about it. And at the end of all of that, say, I know that this showed up because I am healing this, or I am healed. So mote it be. Ashe. You know, go to your ancestors and just speak to all of the women in your ancestor lineage. You know, like y'all went through a lot. And I just want to acknowledge and honor you for all that you went through, because through your womb, I'm here right now. Thank you. And I ask that you support me in my journey, in my growth. We can do the most help by doing this.
Yes.
Okay? Be creative. Make up some rituals. Make up some magic. It don't always have to be exact. You don't always have to have all the ingredients. Really, all you need is the intention. You know? And water is mother. W-A-T-E-R. Turn it upside down. Matter. Take the A and turn it to an O. You got mother. So even if you just got a glass of water and you speak those intentions into that glass of water and drink it, just believe that is exactly what it is, because it is what it is. And we know that water holds vibration, you know? So yeah, I'm done. I'm done. But we gotta, I know it probably sounded easy in the video. Yes, it takes work, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay that it takes work. It's okay that it might take you a few years to clear things. That's okay. Don't worry about how long it's gonna take and how many times you have to do something before it works. Just get started.
Yep.
And learn how to just be unconditionally grateful. If you can't be grateful for nothing else, be grateful that you're breathing right now, all on your own. If you can't find nothing else to be grateful for, I'm grateful that I'm breathing.
And we said it before, as it relates to different things, and one thing for certain is that we have to learn how to be okay with not being okay as you're going through this whole process.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not gonna be okay, but you got to be okay with not being okay,
which will make you feel okay. Use your breath to help you transmute that.
Yep.
Okay. Don't let the collective vibration, you know, don't let it control you. Okay. That's what the Matrix been doing to us, controlling us, when the whole time we had the power. And because it's a simulation, guess what? That means we can all be projectors. And we can project the energy into the reality that we choose. And by each of us doing our own work where we can and working on ourselves, we are healing timelines and bloodlines, and we are opening up a whole different reality for our children and grandchildren and so forth to experience. So if we focus on transmuting the dark energy instead of running from it, when you feel the fear come up, when you feel the depression come up, the sadness come up, you know, just being like, you know what, I'm okay that I'm here right now. I don't know why I don't feel good, but that's okay, I'm here. Okay, mother, I need you. Cosmic mother, I need you. I need you. I need to feel you. Wrap your arms around yourself. Through my arms and through my hands, I ask that your energy manifest, that I feel you, that I'm not alone, and that this is not happening because it's something wrong with me, or I did something wrong, or I need to do something right. I'm just experiencing life as a co-creator, and I want to co-create the best thing that I can from this moment. So let me just hold myself, and I'm just going to visualize that this is you holding me. Thank you for holding me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And giving the thanks and giving the gratitude, vibrating like that. And again, listen to 528 hertz. Okay, listen to the Schumann resonance of the earth. And at nighttime is the best time to do it, you know. It's a lot more quiet and still at night. So yeah, thank y'all. We was on here a lot longer than we intended to be, but we feel like it was definitely necessary.
Oh yeah, definitely. So look, if y'all need, if you definitely needing some questions answered, and you got something else that you want, y'all got our email. If one of our moderators could drop the email in the chat, as well as the website. Y'all go to the website, and join the website. We always are in the mindfulness of putting some more information on the website.
Yeah.
We got a lot, and so we trying to get through it all. Yeah, and so.
Oh, and check out Transatlantic Slave. I think it's Transatlantic Slave Productions channel. It's a channel that posts a lot of Bobby Hemmett stuff. I may be saying it wrong. If I am, forgive me. But he did a video about why this is happening and how the different lineages and everything, the Neanderthal, and how it's more of a genetic thing. It's more of a cellular memory type thing. And so when they see us, it triggers the fight or flight in them, and so they go into attack mode. And he was saying it's not really a race thing, but it's a cellular memory thing that's coming up. So check him out.
That's deep.
If you can't find it, look at my history. Y'all can learn a lot about us by looking through the history on YouTube. But look at the history, and you'll see it in there because I watched it not too long ago. And that resonated a whole lot. So for those of you who are having cognitive dissonance and like, man, why does this keep happening? Why is it significant? What can I do? You know, I think that video, he broke it down very well. And so again, Inky and Lil, we have all of these stories of creation. And so yes, we're not all exactly the same. And so this is normal. This is what happens in the wilderness, you know. And in order to create the new heaven and earth, yes, we are gonna all experience the wilderness, and that's okay. Let's just love and support each other and learn how to love what seems to be positive and negative in your life, because at the end of the day, all of it is energy that can be beneficial and useful for you. Okay. All right.
Well, we appreciate y'all. And we believe that everything that has been shared and discussed tonight has been definitely enlightening. Man, as we always say, man, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace.